Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Clark, research analyst with Money Markets, here with your weekly marijuana market update. Now, I do want to make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and you get notified each and every time we post a new video. So you can do that by just making sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Click the notification bell and you get notified every time we release something new. I'll go over some of the new stuff that all the videos that we release every week. I'll get to that here in a second. But we've also launched our new membership program on our YouTube channel, and it gives you exclusive access to even more cannabis market content. This includes new videos, interviews with cannabis insiders, a monthly live chat with me, which we're in the process of setting up, as well as blog posts about movements in the cannabis market, and so much more. So you can do that. You can join that just by, if you look down below here, you'll see a little join button. You want to click that, and then you'll get all the information as far as what you need to do to subscribe and what all you get in each one of the tiers and all that good stuff. Feel free to click join and find out more about becoming a part of this great new community. Very active, very happy with all the stuff that we have going on so far. We just launched it, so this is your opportunity now to get in on the ground floor. Now, today's update, I'm going to tackle a question from Lucas I got from email. But first, I want to share with you all why I was out last week. If you remember, I did not post any videos. I did have a blog post, but didn't put out any videos last week because I was actually out. And I want to share with you exactly why, and here it is. I want to introduce you to Baby Gray. This is the latest addition to our family. He was born to our oldest son, Nathan, and his girlfriend the day after Father's Day. We took the opportunity to fly back to Kansas from South Florida to visit him last week. It was a great visit. He's a very healthy baby boy, and he's already become great best friends with his papa, which is me. And as you can see here, he sleeps and interacts with me very well. So very excited about that. It was a great visit. Everyone is very healthy and really looking forward to spending more time with our new grandson. Now, I want to tackle Lucas's question. He emailed me at feedback@moneyandmarkets.com, which you can do as well if you have a question or maybe something in particular you'd like me to take a look at in the cannabis sector. And he asked, "Hi, Matt. Love the channel. Just a request to ask if you could cover Village Farms International, one of the top cannabis LPs and trades at an insane discount, which is about 2 times forward sales compared to peers due to its produce business, which seemed to have caused the stock going under the radar for so long. Also has many millions of square feet of greenhouse in Texas. So when or if federal legalization comes, these guys have a tremendous foot up. I'm heavily invested and don't think your channel has covered this one yet." Well, that's true. We have not. And Lucas, thank you very much for your question. We'll love to get into it and give you some analysis here. First off, Village Farms International trades on both the Toronto Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. Its ticker is the same. It is VFF. The Canadian company is primarily known, as Lucas says, as producing greenhouse-grown vegetables, such as peppers and tomatoes and things like that. But it also does operate a power plant in British Columbia. So it does actually sell power back to the government of British Columbia. Now, it has a subsidiary. It's called Pure Sun Farms, and it's developed into a pretty significant player in the Canadian cannabis market, specifically in British Columbia. Now, let me take a look at the company financials. As you can see, the company struggled to find solid footing from 2017 to 2019, with revenue actually declining from about $158.4 million to $144.6 million in those 3 years. However, 2020 was actually a really good year for the company. It produced record revenue of $170.1 million, thanks in large part to the COVID-19 pandemic and the shift away from grocery store produce to more homegrown varieties. So not as many people were going to grocery stores because of lockdown, so they were instead growing their own or going to greenhouses, which didn't really suffer the same kind of lockdowns as grocery stores did, especially in Canada and here in the United States. So in 2020, total gross sales for cannabis specific for Village Farms was about $74.1 million. That was a 17% increase from 2019. However, the company's gross margin from cannabis sales dipped from about 76% in 2019 to 40% in 2020. Now, 40% is still good, but to suffer a 36% drop in gross margin is pretty significant, and one thing that as an investor you want to watch out for. Furthermore, its net income from cannabis sales went from $27.4 million in 2019 to just $10.1 million in 2020, a drop of about 62%. Now, its net income, it did include a $4.8 million in debt forgiveness income per a settlement agreement the company reached back in March. So all told, the company didn't see significant growth in cannabis sales as many of its competitors did in 2020. In the first quarter of 2021, Pure Sunfarms only booked about $17.5 million in total sales compared to just $17.3 million in the fourth quarter of 2020. Now, you want to compare, it's okay to compare quarter versus quarter, but it's usually better to compare year over year. But the totals are about the same. So it didn't really see much of an increase in terms of going from the fourth quarter of 2020 to the first quarter of 2021. Now, the company did record a net loss of $2.8 million for the first quarter compared to a fourth quarter loss of $1.7 million. And what this tells us is that the losses are getting somewhat larger over the course of time. So, when you look at losses, it's okay to compare quarter over quarter from one quarter butted up to the next quarter as opposed to year over year. Now, the wider losses in the first quarter is due likely to lower gross margins due to lower sales prices for wholesale sales, and they did issue some larger stock-based compensation for their executives. So that did dilute their company's net income. Overall, Village Farms is going to have a difficult time meeting the $242.3 million in projected 2021 total income if the first quarter is any indication as to how the rest of the year goes. Now, its produce business does very well. It is a very thriving enterprise. Cannabis, on the other hand, is still struggling to find some footing. Now, it does seem like the cannabis arm of the company is increasing sales, but only slightly, and the division continues to lose money at a much higher rate than I'm comfortable with. Now, looking at the company's stock, the stock has also struggled to find some solid footing in 2021. VFF hit a high of nearly $20 per share back in February, but dropped to nearly $8 a share in May. That's a 58% drop in 4 months. Now, it's slowly climbed back. It's around $10.50 as of today, give or take, and it's still showing about 107% gain over the last 12 months. Another point of concern for me, though, however, is that its 200-day moving average is nearing its 50-day moving average, approaching that death cross in stock price, suggesting that a potential downturn could be in the offing. Now, there's the golden cross, which is when the 50-day moving average moves above the 200-day average, and then there is the death cross, which is when it goes the other way around, when the 200-day moves above the 50-day. Now, its price-to ratios are all significantly higher than its peers. Its PE ratio right now is about 355.4 compared to the agriculture industry average of just 36.7. Its price to book is 87. The agriculture industry average is only 30. So you have a PE ratio that's nearly 10 times higher than the average for the ag industry, and you have a price to book ratio which is more than double the industry average. So, and that's even at $10.50 a share, the stock appears to be extremely overvalued. Now, as for its Texas operations, Lucas is correct. The company does have a significant greenhouse presence in the Lone Star State. It's got about 1.3 million square feet of cultivation space in the Permian Basin. And right now, half of that has been used dedicated to hemp production, mainly for CBD. No marijuana cultivation, as it is not legal federally or in the state of Texas. Now, I don't necessarily see in the immediate future as cannabis or hemp production being a huge driver for Village Farms overall. It's going to rely pretty heavily on its produce business, as its cannabis business is not really ticking up outside of British Columbia, and one province does not make a significant growth in sales, in my opinion, in Canada. So it's not a bad company. I think it's got a good foundation. Its produce business is very good, but it's really not one I would invest in right now, especially if you're just looking at pure cannabis plays or cannabis / other ag plays. It's just not one I would really get into right now. Its value is extremely high for me, even at a low price point, and its financials are struggling for me, at least from what I see as of today. Could that change? Of course it could. Things could always change. There's always things that could fluctuate, driving the market to change. Now, if you're really interested, I would probably see if this stock starts to pull back in the coming weeks to potentially get in at a lower price. Otherwise, if you're in it now, hold it. It's fine. It's not a bad stock. It's probably not going to decline too much. I think it does have some upside potential. However, I'm just kind of seeing some limited upside. But if you're not in this and you're not looking for it as a pure cannabis play, I'd probably sit on the sidelines on this one. But thank you again for the question, Lucas. If you do have a question about cannabis stock or the market, just email me, feedback@moneyandmarkets.com, or you can comment below here on YouTube. We'll drop the email address as well down below here so you can get that email address to email me at any time. Now, I do want to tell you that even though I was off last week, I did still do some research and still look around. I'm still looking for the right ETF. I've narrowed it down to about 2, but I want to find the right one to add to our cannabis watch list. I'm really, really close to adding it, and I'm probably going to do so here in the coming weeks. So make sure you do tune in for that. If you want to keep track of our cannabis watch list progress, so by the way, we're up double digits, and know as soon as I decide to add either the ETF or another company to the list, then I do encourage you to join our new membership program on YouTube. I provide weekly updates on the stocks on the watch list, along with exclusive videos and interviews with cannabis insiders as well. There are also blog posts about cannabis investing news and much more. We're working to give you our first live chat on YouTube with me. And I've also got a few other things two things that I've already got kind of lined out and done. And I'm not sure exactly where I want to put those in terms of offerings, and they're very big. So I really hope that you one of those things I think I'm going to go ahead and give out for free. One of those I may put in our community. I haven't really decided yet, but I've got them both, and I think they're both going to be very very good, especially if you are a cannabis investor. So make sure you stay tuned, and I'll let you know much more about that here in the coming weeks. Now, to get a part of our membership community, to be a part of it, just click the join button down on our YouTube page. Find out more about the access that you get by joining. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'll provide you even more insights, not just in the cannabis market, but overall. You can follow me. My Twitter handle is @investwithmattc. That is invest with Matt C. I'll put that down below too, so you can find that. That's on Twitter. You can follow me anytime. Appreciate that. I usually try to follow back as well. That said, I want to thank all of you for watching our videos each and every week. We love to do it. Love to bring you the best insights into cannabis and to investing. Myself, Adam O'Dell, Charles Sizemore, we like to work very hard to give you all that information the best way possible. If you have a cannabis stock you'd like me to look at, again, email me feedback@moneymarkets.com. We've got much more coming up this week. I'll have the Bull and the Bear podcast as well as much more. Don't forget to check out our new Ask Adam Anything video series. I get to sit down and ask our chief investment strategist, Adam O'Dell, any question that you have. It could be market related, it could be personal related, whatever. I like to sit down and ask him. I like to throw him off too. So see if I can. He's had a week off from me, so I'm gonna try to get him this time around and see if I can stump him on a couple of your questions. But you can email those questions to feedback@moneymarkets.com. Greens on Fortunes co-editor Charles Sizemore is also working on a new weekly video series. Right now, it's Investing with Charles, where he breaks down stocks each week. We're going to kind of tweak that a little bit and bring you much more of that. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Plus, check out moneymarkets.com. Each and every day, we provide content that is safe, sound, profitable investment information for you and your portfolio. So check that out. Sign up for our free daily e-letter. Get all that information sent to your inbox for free each and every day at moneyandmarkets.com. I'm Matt Clark, research analyst for Money and Markets and the host of the Bull and the Bear podcast and your marijuana market update. Until next time, everyone, safe trading.